Try this again. Clip, clap. Does the brake cue's weight actually matter? Today, I'm testing 3 different brake cue weights to find out. I'm testing a light, a medium, and a heavy brake cue, all under the exact same conditions. Each cue is gonna get 25 brakes, and I'm gonna rank them on 3 things that actually matter in real games. The first one is power, which is gonna be measured by how well the rack spreads. The second one is gonna be control, where the cue ball ends after each break. And the third thing is consistency, how often a ball is made over those 25 breaks. By the end of this test, we'll see if heavier is better or if brake cue weight doesn't actually matter. Let's go ahead and start the test off. This is going to be the 19-ounce brake stick with a carbon fiber shaft and a phenolic Q-tip. I'm expected to be able to hold accuracy, but it comes down to speed and having a faster stroke. Let's go ahead and start with that. Okay, that was good. With a lighter cue, the power is actually going to come from the swing speed. Newton actually said that acceleration times mass equals force. So with this cue, we're actually able to increase the speed of the cue compared to the other ones, which will then turn over into more generated force into the cue ball, which then sends the cue ball flying at a faster rate. That one felt better. This brake is meant for people who are able to generate like more of a fast and athletic brake. This cue uses a phenolic tip. So accuracy and consistent precision really matter with this one, as well as making sure you're chalked up, because it doesn't hold chalk as well as like a leather tip would. If your timing is off with this cue, it's less forgiving. Nice. Not even close. Still made one. Something's gotta go. Nothing. There's that 5 ball. Dang. Oh my goodness. Of course I scratched on it. I really tried focusing on that one, having my last stroke be as fast as I could get it. I did catch myself gripping the cue stick a little too hard, but other than that, overall, I think it was a pretty good test. I don't know if accuracy is my thing, so therefore this brake might not be for me. Let's go ahead and move on to the medium weighted stick, which is gonna be a 22 ounce. It's actually gonna be the same exact cue, but instead of it being a 19 ounce, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a heavier bolt, which will then make it a 22 ounce cue stick, same tip and same shaft. All right, I just put in the weight to make this cue now a 22 ounce brake cue. Let's go ahead and get this going. Not even close to center. Next is gonna be the medium weighted brake cue. This cue is gonna be the balance point between speed and control. That one felt good. This is gonna be for someone who wants more neutral and maybe repeatable brakes. I shouldn't have to swing as hard as I did with the light cue, but it also doesn't feel slow due to the weight. And as I said earlier, this is gonna have the same carbon fiber shaft with the phenolic tip. So again, accuracy and precision with this really do matter. Oh. Yikes. Four. Yikes. Scratch numero dos. Nope. Wow, look at that. Where's that control? With the 22-ounce weighted brake cue, I wasn't able to control the cue ball as much, and that might have been because I was trying to mix in like a smooth stroke. I'm excited to figure out what happens with the 25-ounce cue stick, because that one I'm definitely going to be looking for more of a fluid stroke, like a fast punch. I do feel like I had a dry spell of brakes on that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the 25-ounce, the heaviest cue stick in the bag. And finally, the heavy brake cue. Here, I can have a firm stroke and let the weight do most of the work. And back to what Newton said about the law of motion, since we've increased the mass, I should be able to increase the energy transferred, which then also correlates to the cue ball having more power when interacting with the head ball. A heavier cue is going to be meant for people who want more of a controlled and like compact brake, which can be super helpful if you want to go ahead and increase your power without having to rush your stroke. And this cue actually has a hard leather tip, which to start off with holds the chalk a lot better, but it also is a little bit more forgiving than what you'd find on a phenolic tip. I don't know if you could tell, I'm getting tired. It's 1:15 in the morning. Oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hopefully this one is the best one yet. So after 25 brakes with the 25-ounce cue stick, this one I felt like I did have more control over, especially since I was able to go slower the entire time. But I don't know if I was able to make as many balls as I was with the light stick. Let's go ahead and review all the brakes, go through the recaps. Let's get to the bottom of this. See you guys soon. Woo! All right. Here is the clean takeaway after 75 total brakes. The 19-ounce cue was the fastest and most piercing, but it ended up being the least reliable for me, the least reliable cue of the three. After going back and looking at all the brakes with the 19-ounce cue, I was only able to make a ball on the brake 10 out of the 25 times, and control was pretty hit or miss. It was 12 out of the 25 times. Control met my standard. And the spread overall, which then led me to have a shot from where the cue ball was placed on at least 4 balls, was not great either. It was okay, it would have done fine, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more shots, more opportunities from where the cue ball laid on the table after it was spread out. On racks 21 and rack 22, it felt great when I got it right, but that wasn't easy. Next was a 22-ounce cue. It was smooth, but it didn't really jump out in any of the categories that I was grading on. It was fine, but not remarkable. I did have more breaks than the lighter cue that I made a ball on. The spread overall was not that great. Control wasn't either, except for the very end. The more times I broke, the better it was at the very end. The 25-ounce cue was actually the most consistent cue for me. I had a fair amount of control. I had 15 breaks with a ball made, and 17 out of the 25 breaks, I had a spread where the cue ball landed and I had 4 shots to go off of. It had fewer mistakes and 0 scratches, where the other 2, I did scratch 1 time with each of them. So if I had to rank them on real game performance, 25 would be number 1, 22 and 19 would be pretty even, but 19 did come over top just barely due to the amount of control I was able to get compared to the 25-ounce. Other than that, they're pretty much the same for me, but the 25-ounce definitely had the upper edge. But brake cues aren't like a one-size-fits-all decision. They come in different weights, tip sizes, different shafts, as well as different price ranges. And what works for me won't always work for you or anyone else watching this video. The real goal is finding the cue that you can have the most consistent and repeatable actions with every time. For me, the heavier cue made it a lot easier for the cue ball to be controlled. For you, that might be a lighter cue, a completely different weight, or even just a different tip. The only real way to know is to test it for yourself. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and thank Raven for sending me this cue, which allowed me to go ahead and test these different weights and these different tips. So thank you so much for sending me this, and it'll definitely be in my bag from now on. If you guys would like more information about the Raven Break Cue, please be sure to check the description below for an affiliate link that'll take you to their website. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Until next time, peace.